Good morning, everybody. I'm in the kitchen and we're getting ready to make some fried corn, cream corn, whatever you want to call it. My granny always called it fried corn, and so that's what I call it, is fried corn. A lot of times I just say freezer corn. Let's fix some freezer corn. Now, there's different ways you can do this. You can do it without a thickening, or you can add a thickening. One of my grandmothers used to add the thickening all the time, and the other one didn't add it so much. Every once in a while she would, but not often. But I'm going to show you today, because I do add just a little bit to mine to keep it from being so liquidy. And it helps, and I like the taste of it better. So if you want to make yours like this, you can. If you don't want to add the cornstarch slurry, you don't have to. That's fine. You can just leave that out. But anyway, the first thing we're going to do is we washed all of our corn. I went yesterday and bought 12 more ears. Now, these are pretty rough looking today. Some of these were not very good ears of corn, but you don't know what you're going to get when you buy a bag that's already picked for you, so you just have to hope that you get enough to make a mess out of. And usually a dozen ears will make a good mess of corn. Now, I'm going to try to get you around here where you can see. The first thing, I'm going to do it over the kitchen sink. And you want to have a good sharp knife. I have a rated knife. This is a new one I just bought the other day. I've got several old ones here that I've had for a long time, but this is my new one. So I'm going to kind of show you how I do this. And somebody mentioned the other day, and I do remember my aunt telling me to do that years ago when I was just little, to turn your knife over and use the back part of your blade to scrape the cob. That way you won't dull your knife. So we're going to try that today and see how that works. But anyway, we're going to get the corn cut off here. And I'm going to show you how I do a couple of ears. And then I'm going to cut the rest of it, because I know you're not going to want to sit here and watch me cut corn for 15 or 20 minutes. So first thing we're going to do. Now, when I cut my corn off, I always check for any bad places. And if there's bad places, I usually will have another pan sitting here, and I'll cut the bad place out and keep on, cutting my corn off. But now I'm going to turn you around this way. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut half of the kernel. You don't want to cut, look how thin I'm cutting that. I'm cutting half of the kernel off. And then I just push it right down in the pan there. Sometimes I'll go a little bit thicker. If you do it like this, it's really not hard to do. It's just a matter of getting used to doing it this way. And this is the way I've always done it. I control my knife. My knife doesn't control me. Okay? There's a little piece of shuck that won't hurt anything if you get it in there. Just gives you a little bit more roughage. Now, this is what the cob looks like once I have cut that. You can see how much is left on it. Now I'm going to do what they call milking the cob. This is what they call it. So we're going to turn our knife blade over, and we're going to scrape it. And you can see what comes up there. See all that stuff right there? That's what you're wanting to go into your pan. And if you scrape down, it doesn't really splatter as bad as trying to hold it up and do it. And then I usually lay my cobs. I'm going to move and I'm just going to lay them there in the sink. I'm going to get another one out. And these silks, I usually try to get as many off as I can, but they don't hurt anything. They won't hurt you. Contrary to popular belief, corn silks won't hurt you. I don't want to have a bunch of them in there, but I'm going to try to get one over here. I'm going to pause you for just a second. Okay, I'm going to hold the corn so you can see it like this. I'm just going to do this here, and then I'll go back to the page over there. Now, I do it faster when I'm doing like that. I'm trying not to get it everywhere. Now, I'm going to turn it over like this and scrape my cob. Just like this. You want to get all that little milky stuff out. And I do believe it does work better this way if you turn your knife over. Now, I'm going to pause you for a minute. Now, I'm going to cut the rest of this corn off, and I'll be back in just a minute when we're ready to put it on the stove and cook it.